Hi guys, and welcome back to the final piece of this sketchbook tour. If you've not watched the previous two videos, I'll put links above so you can see parts 1 and 2, but let's get right into it. So to begin, this is the final sketchbook and it has a wonderful sticker here by Kantaya. I'm absolutely in love with so much of her artwork, and when it came to an event where she wanted to exchange some stickers, I could not help but exchange for some of her lovely Zelda pieces because I just absolutely adore how they look in her art style. Anyway, the first picture that we have in here is of my son Lance from Voltron, because at the time I was going for a massive Voltron kick, and this was me trying out a couple of new pens. I'd got some Sakura pigment pens, and I was given the sort of brush tip and the it's like a bullet nibby sort of one that they've got as well. I was giving that a go and really enjoyed using that. I actually really like the technique. So this is when I started to begin using brush nibs. Here is another character that was previously in one of my other sketchbooks. This is Katarzyna. So this is the witch character that is from one of the sort of comic ideas that I've got running at the moment. So hopefully that'll begin some soon. Yep, another piece here which is Nyx, who's also another sketchbook, which is another OC. But this bit I was trying to do watercolours. I very rarely use watercolours, and this was an experiment on this paper, and the paper held up pretty well, but at the time I was really out of practice, so it didn't come out particularly well. I also did most of this piece on an Instagram stream, which I need to start picking up again at some point soon. But yeah, it's not the best piece, but I kind of like it. Yep, more Nyx doodles. So in this case, again, it was me practicing with that ink sort of brush nibs. I think a lot of this sketchbook was me trying out a lot of inking techniques. So in this case, I actually really started enjoying the brush nibs on this, and through this, I think this is when I started really embracing sort of a lot of the ink work that a lot of you guys can see me using now. This was a concept sketch. So for those of you who followed me for a while know that I've been working on a comic book called Clerical Error, which is a vaguely D&D themed comic that's currently I'm taking it back to drawing board and currently rewriting the script for it at the moment. But this is where the early sort of concept pieces that I had for one of the characters. She's changed quite a lot now. So this is Kana, who hasn't been introduced officially in the comic yet, but she is in the concept art book that I sold as well. So her sort of costume has become a bit more wilder than what she's got here. It's a lot more simplified, and her hair's been simplified down as well. Here is another piece of concept work. This was done again for the main character in Clerical Error called Ree. Her costume has changed vastly, although I do like a lot of aspects of this design, so I'm probably going to still keep it as an alternate design for some point in the future. Probably keep the hair as it is in the comic, but we'll see. Another example here of thumbnailing. So obviously at this point I've got I think I switched from doing my inks as being an ink book only sketchbook to then turning into it's a bit of everything sketchbook. So these were some sort of preliminary sketches I did about last October for the Constellation books that I did in collaboration with Sophia Lou, Zombie Octopus, Feline Trickster, and a number of other people. And again, this was me sort of figuring out how the book was going to be planned out. So you can see my doodles of how I was going to plan certain bits out, as well as the art bits as well, and the titles, etc. Another sketch of Nyx, and the blue pencil is back because I always like sketching in my blue pencil. This was me trying to figure out an alternate design for her again, for some sort of farm girl sort of look a little bit, rather than her usual layered coat. And a number of other things. I mean, looking at this now, I can see there's a lot of errors for anatomy, but hey. More Voltron, because Voltron. Keith. Again, I'm not particularly happy with this drawing, but I actually like the inking on it. Oddly enough, this is my favourite page in this entire sketchbook. I was so happy with the little logo I did at the top for Space Noodle Sushi, was the art group that I was with at the time, as well as doing a lot of these other sort of food-based sort of ink drawings. And this is the sort of stuff I don't really draw a lot. and I actually was really happy with how those doodles came out. More Keith, because always Keith. And here is the preliminary drawing I did for Virgo, which was the piece that I did for Constellations. I think I drew this piece at Thought Bubble last year and was inking it out with a Pentel brush pen. Still really happy with the sketch actually, even though I can tell there's anatomy problems and that with it. I actually really like generally how this looks. I think there's like a vague Persephone theme with that as well. Another drawing I did at Thought Bubble. So again, this was me when I started really getting into using my Pentel brush pen. So a lot of sketches. Not so happy with this. This is terribly out of proportion. Ink brush was not working for me that day. So, and again, another example, guys. You're going to have mistakes, and it's okay. I may look at this and cringe, but at the same point, you know, I've learned from it. Again, here was me trying to draw the same character again. Still not particularly happy with it, although I did like the pencil line work beneath. So this is a Glace, which is a character in one of the D&D games that I run. She runs like a bar, sort of halfway house sort of place. And yeah, it's one of those things. I really liked the pencil line work for this, and it inked over the top, and then didn't really like the inking, which is why I never finished it. And that's just sometimes how it is. Some of your sketches will just be incomplete. This is me designing more footwear for a Glace, as well as like sort of thumbnailing out quite messily another couple of pieces. This was for Capricorn, for Constellations as well. And you can see here at the sort of the far corner as well, I was doing some sort of ink practice as well, trying to get brush strokes. Again, here is a more fleshed out sort of idea of the Virgo piece for Constellations, which you can see here that I've taken from that ink drawing to then transplant into this to try and get the composition right. So this is what, you know, your pictures on instantly going to be brilliant. This is actually a piece that I started doing for the Cantata Pansophica, which is a Vox Machina version of Hamilton, and they asked me to do a piece of artwork for it. This is originally when I thought they needed me to do something complex, and in the end they're like, no, it's just a silhouette. And I was like, it's fine, I can just do the Percy and Keyleth bit over the table, which worked quite nicely. In the end, it was a real pleasure to work with them on that, because not only were they doing it to raise money for charity, it was also just the work that they've done for it is absolutely brilliant. And if I remember, I'll put a link to their work at the bottom. Oh, and yeah, at the end, the sketchbook, my meals. This is how I plan. In most of my sketchbooks, there are always random bits where I start writing my food shopping for the month, or the food shopping for the week. So yeah, this is some of the stuff that I eat. As you can see, I eat a lot of like bean sprouts and shiitake mushrooms. So you can see that I've got some more sort of commissioned information there, and some more like sort of pencil thumbnails at the end as well. And yeah, loads of bills and stuff that you guys don't need to see. So skipping past that, that's pretty much the end of the sketchbook. So I hope that looking through these sketchbooks have helped you guys. It's given you sort of look into sort of background stuff of how I draw. These sketchbooks are now pretty old. These are a good year and a half old, and I've almost filled up another couple of sketchbooks. So I'll probably be doing another sketchbook tour, actually probably recently soon. So yeah, see you later, guys. Hey guys, before you go, please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you have enjoyed this video. I'd also like to say a big thank you to this month's Patreon supporters who once again have allowed me to create another video through their love and support. If you'd like to be one of the lovely people who support me on Patreon and get your name here in the end cards, please follow the link below to my Patreon page and see whatever level you'd like to join at. The things start from like $1, $2 all the way up to like $15, and I try and make sure that you guys get some really cool benefits out of it as well. Anyway, thank you for your time, guys. See you next time. Bye!